There was a man who woke up one morning and couldn't move his legs, not because of an accident, not because of a disease, but because for the past 3 years, he had chosen every single morning to stay in bed just a little longer, to skip just one more workout, to wait for Monday, to wait for next month, to wait for the perfect moment that never came. And on that particular morning, when he finally swung his legs over the side of the bed and tried to stand, his body had simply forgotten how to fight. His muscles had wasted, his will had eroded, and the man who used to dream about running marathons sat on the edge of his mattress and cried like he hadn't cried since he was a child. That man was not weak. That man was not stupid. I want you to stay with me right now. I want you to hear every single word of what I'm about to tell you, because this story, this message, this moment right here, it was made for you, not for the person sitting next to you, not for someone you're going to send this to later, for you right now, in whatever room you're sitting in whatever pain you're carrying, in whatever version of stuck you currently find yourself in. This is for you. And if this video finds you at the right time, and I believe it will, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now, because what we build here, what we talk about here, the stories we tell, and the truths we face, they are going to change the way you see yourself and the world around you. Subscribe, because you deserve content that speaks to your soul, not just your screen. Now let me take you back. Let me take you back further than that man on the edge of his bed. Let me take you back to the version of you that existed before the world got loud, before the disappointments stacked up, before someone told you that you weren't good enough, weren't smart enough, weren't built for the life you were dreaming about. Think about that version of you, that kid who believed in everything, that teenager who stayed up late because the future felt so big and so bright and so full of possibility that sleep felt like a waste of time. That young man or young woman who had fire in their chest and a plan in their mind and absolutely nothing that could stop them. Where did that person go? I'm asking you seriously. Where did they go? Because I don't believe they disappeared. I believe they got buried under years of no's and not yet's and maybe somedays, under rejection and routine and the slow, comfortable poison of a life lived safely, under the weight of other people's opinions and the thick fog of your own fear. That person is still in there. That fire is still burning. It's just been waiting for someone to. I want to tell you about another person, a woman named Sarah. Now, Sarah grew up in a small town in the middle of nowhere. She was the kind of kid who read every book she could find. Something happened. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a lightning bolt or a near-death experience or a voice from the sky. It was a Tuesday, an ordinary Tuesday. And Sarah was on her lunch break, sitting at that window table, and she watched a woman walk by outside. An older woman, maybe 65, 70 years old, walking with a purpose that most people half her age have never felt. Head up, shoulders back, moving through the world like she owned every inch of sidewalk her feet touched. And Sarah thought to herself, what does that woman know that I don't? What did she figure out that I'm still searching for? And the question that came next was the question that changed everything. Sarah thought, what if I spent the rest of my life moving like that? What if I decided right now, today, in this restaurant on this Tuesday, that I was going to stop waiting and start walking? What if I became the person I was waiting to meet? That question is more powerful than any motivational speech ever written. It's more powerful than any book, any course, any program, any coach, because that question comes from inside you. That question is the voice of the person you're meant to become talking to the person you currently are. And the conversation between those two people is the most important conversation you will ever have in your life. Most people shut that conversation down before it ever gets started. They hear the voice, they feel the pull, they sense the possibility, and then immediately, automatically, like a reflex they were trained to have. They say, not me, not now, not yet. I'm not ready. I don't have what it takes. Maybe someday, and someday never comes. You know that. You've lived that. You know exactly what someday feels like because you've been waiting on it for longer than you want to admit. But here's what I need you to understand. And I need you to really hear this. Not just let it wash over you, but actually let it land somewhere deep. You will never feel ready. Nobody does. The most successful, disciplined, driven people on this planet, the ones who changed industries and moved mountains and built things that lasted, they were all terrified. Every single one of them. Courage is feeling everything. Fear makes you feel and doing the thing anyway. Taking the step anyway. Opening the door anyway. Walking into the gym anyway. Starting the business anyway. Making the call anyway. Sending the email anyway. Beginning again after the failure anyway. That word, anyway, is the most powerful word in the English language when it comes to building the life you were made for. When your lungs are burning and your legs are shaking and every cell in your body is screaming at you to stop, and you don't stop and you keep going and you finish, something in your brain rewires itself. You prove to yourself in a way that no affirmation and no journal entry can replicate that you are capable of more than you thought. And that proof lives inside you forever. You can't take it back. You can't unfeel it. Even when you don't believe in yourself. None of it is wasted. Not one drop of effort, not 1 minute of dedication, not one moment of pushing through when you wanted to stop. All of it counts. All of it builds. All of it matters. Deliberate, disciplined work. And work is something you are capable of. Work is something nobody can take from you. Work is the great equalizer in a world that doesn't always play fair. There's a concept that the best coaches and athletes understand at a level most people never reach. It's the concept of training beyond comfort. Not just pushing yourself, not just working hard, but actively, intentionally going to the place where your mind starts making deals. That if you just keep breathing, if you just keep moving, if you just refuse to stay on the ground, you will get through it. Every single time. Comment below. Share this video with someone who needs it right now. You know exactly who that person is. You probably thought of them already. Send it to them. Not with a long message. Just send it. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for someone you love is simply put the right words in front of them at the right time. Not the thing other people expected of her, the thing she actually wanted. 2 years later, Sarah published her first book. It wasn't a bestseller. It didn't change the world overnight. But it existed. It was real. It had her name on the cover and her heart on every page. And the morning it went live, she sat at that same kitchen table where she'd written in that notebook, and she cried the same way she used to cry at that window to understood, finally and completely, that the journey was always, always get up, train, sacrifice, suffer, grow, believe, and become. Because the world is waiting for the version of you that stops waiting and starts moving. The world is waiting for the version of you that wakes up. And you have everything it takes. You always have. Now go prove it to yourself, not tomorrow, right now. Starting with this moment, starting with this breath, starting with the decision to be the person your best self has always known you could be.